then it might be time to let go, not just of clutter, but of the silent burdens you didn't realize were weighing you down. Because the truth is, what we carry, physically, mentally, and emotionally, can either help us thrive in our later years or quietly hold us back. After 60, every day becomes more precious. You've worked hard, you've endured challenges, and you've earned the right to live on your own terms. But sometimes, the things we keep, from old habits to objects to toxic relationships, can keep us from fully embracing the peace and freedom we deserve. In this video, we'll talk about 5 powerful things you should consider throwing away before you turn 65. And no, this isn't just about cleaning out your closet. It's about releasing emotional weight, avoiding regrets, and creating space for the joy and clarity that should define your later years. These aren't just my opinions. These insights are based on research in mental health, aging, and wellness, combined with stories from people just like you who made small changes that brought big relief. Stay with me until the end, because one of the final points is something most people never realize is silently damaging their peace of mind. Now, let's get started. Let's be honest. By the time we reach our 60s, we've all been hurt. Maybe it was a betrayal from a friend, a child who grew distant, a partner who disappointed us, or even a parent who never gave us the love we needed. But here's the truth. Holding on to anger and bitterness won't fix the past. It only poisons your present. Meet Linda, a 67-year-old retired teacher. For years, she held resentment toward her younger sister for something that happened in their 30s. They barely spoke. Holidays were tense, and even thinking about her sister filled her with stress. One day, Linda came across a journal entry from her own mother that said, "Forgiveness isn't about them, it's about your peace." That sentence changed everything. Linda decided to let go, not necessarily to reconcile, but to free herself. Her sleep improved. Her anxiety went down. She even smiled more. Why? Because grudges take energy to carry. And after 65, your energy is too valuable to waste on pain that can't be changed. You don't have to forget. You don't even have to reconnect. But you can choose to stop letting old wounds shape your future. Ask yourself, who or what am I still angry at? And is that anger giving me strength or stealing my peace? You might not expect clothes to make it onto this list, but hear me out. After 60, your lifestyle, your priorities, and your sense of comfort all begin to shift. Yet many of us continue to hold on to closets full of clothes that no longer fit, flatter, or feel like us anymore. It's not just about fashion. It's about identity, memory, and emotional weight. Let me introduce you to Samuel, a 72-year-old man who still had 3 suits hanging in his closet, suits he hadn't worn since retiring a decade ago. "I used to be someone," he said, staring at them. Those suits represented his status, his years of hard work, and how people once looked at him. But now, they only made him feel like he'd lost something. His wife gently suggested they donate them to a young man just starting out in his career. Samuel resisted at first, but one day he packed them up and gave them away. That same afternoon, he bought a new lightweight jacket and a comfortable pair of walking shoes. "I didn't realize," he later said, "that holding onto those old suits was holding me back from accepting the joy of the life I live now." Here's the truth. Your clothes should support the life you're living, not the life you used to live. Letting go of outdated outfits, painful sizes, or someday clothing creates space for a wardrobe that celebrates who you are today. Comfortable, confident, and free. Try this. Go through your closet and pull out anything that makes you feel guilty, uncomfortable, or like someone you no longer are. Ask yourself, does this bring me peace and joy, or pressure and regret? The simple act of donating, decluttering, or even reorganizing your wardrobe can feel like lifting a heavy weight off your shoulders. Remember, You are not defined by your past roles or appearances. You are defined by your presence. After 60, you might expect comparison to fade away, but for many, it becomes more subtle and more dangerous. You might look at your neighbors and think, he travels more than I do. She sees her grandkids more often. They seem healthier, happier, wealthier. And just like that, a seed of quiet dissatisfaction starts to grow. But here's the hard truth. Comparison is a thief. It steals your joy, your gratitude, and your peace. Consider this story. Martha and Helen are both 69 and live in the same community. Martha often scrolls through social media, sees her friends traveling or remodeling their homes, and feels like she's missing out. Helen, on the other hand, journals each morning about the small joys in her life: a blooming flower in her yard, a warm conversation with her son, the fact that her knees didn't ache that day. Over time, Martha grew more anxious and discouraged. Helen, meanwhile, felt increasingly grounded and content. The only difference? Where they placed their attention. Life after 60 isn't a competition. It's a celebration of what you've built and who you've become. No two journeys are the same. Some people age with wealth, others with wisdom. Some with family, others with freedom. And what you have might be exactly what someone else silently longs for. Try this mental shift. Every time you catch yourself comparing, pause and say, their path is not my path. My journey is mine alone. Instead of measuring yourself against others, reflect on what you need most now. Peace, health, simplicity, meaning. Because in the end, it's not about what others have. It's about whether you've made peace with what you have and who you are. Not all clutter is junk. Some of it comes with memories. A dusty photo album, an old box of letters, a broken clock from your parents' house, clothes from your children's childhood, and that's why it's so hard to let go of. But as the years pass, these physical objects often carry emotional energy, guilt, grief, nostalgia, and even unresolved pain. Take Harold, a 70-year-old widower who couldn't bear to open the drawer where his wife's favorite scarf still lay, untouched for 6 years. Every time he passed it, he felt a wave of sadness, but he couldn't bring himself to move it. One day, after talking with his daughter, he made a choice. He took the scarf, gently folded it, and placed it in a memory box with love. "I'm not letting her go," he said. "I'm making space for life to keep moving." Sometimes holding on becomes a form of emotional paralysis. You can't go backward, but you're afraid to move forward. That's when it's time to ask, is this item preserving love or preventing growth? Here's the key. Letting go doesn't mean forgetting. You can honor someone's memory without keeping every item they touched. You can cherish the past without letting it take up all the space in your present. Try this practice. Pick one drawer, one shelf, or one corner of your home. Touch each object and ask yourself, do I want to carry this forward into the life I'm creating now? If the answer is yes, keep it with care. If the answer is no, thank it for what it meant and let it go. The more space you create, the more peace you invite. Because after 65, your home should reflect the person you are today, not just who you used to be. If there's one thing that silently holds more people back than anything else after 60, it's this: the fear of change. Maybe you've said or thought one of these, "I'm too old to start over. What if I fail? It's too late to try something new. I just don't like change." But here's a powerful truth. Change doesn't stop just because you get older. It only becomes more meaningful. The decisions you make now will directly shape the quality of your remaining years, not just the length of them. Let me share Peter's story. He was 68, divorced, retired, and living in the same home he'd been in for 35 years. He felt restless, but the idea of changing anything terrified him. Then one day, while watching his grandson try something new and fail, and laugh about it, Peter realized something. I've lived through wars, heartbreak, illness, and raising 2 kids, and I'm afraid to move to a smaller place. Within 6 months, He had sold his house, downsized, joined a walking group, and even started learning the guitar. He said, "Change didn't take anything from me. It gave me back my sense of life." Because here's the thing. Staying in the same place out of fear doesn't bring comfort. It creates slow decay. Your brain needs stimulation. Your soul needs adventure. Your body needs fresh purpose. And none of that comes from clinging to the familiar. It comes from embracing what's possible. Change doesn't have to be dramatic. It could be as small as saying yes to something new, letting go of an outdated routine, moving your furniture, reaching out to someone first, signing up for a class, taking a solo trip. Ask yourself honestly, am I resisting something simply because it's unfamiliar? Then flip the question. What beautiful experience might I miss if I stay exactly where I am? Because sometimes the scariest doors are the ones that lead to the most fulfilling rooms in your life. Now that we've explored these 5 powerful things to let go of before 65, take a moment. Not to judge yourself, but to gently reflect. Are you still holding on to old grudges that quietly weigh on your heart? Do you see clothes, clutter, or habits around you that no longer match the life you want to live? Have you caught yourself comparing your journey to others instead of honoring your own? And perhaps most importantly, has fear been keeping you stuck in a version of life that no longer feels alive? If you answered yes to even one of those questions, you're not alone. In fact, you're human. We all carry emotional and physical baggage. It's part of the story. But the most inspiring thing, you get to write the next chapter. And that next chapter can begin right now, with a single act of letting go. Because the truth is, peace often comes not from what we gain, but from what we release. Letting go isn't about loss. It's about freedom. It's about making space for peace, for joy, for connection, for a life that feels lighter. So here's a gentle challenge for you today. Pick one thing, just one, from this video that resonated most with you. Take one small action toward releasing it. Write it down, say it out loud, or better yet, leave a comment below and share it. Because when we speak our intentions, we give them power. And when we support each other in the journey, we grow stronger together. Tell us, what are you letting go of this year? And if you found this video helpful, inspiring, or comforting in any way, like the video, subscribe to the channel, turn on notifications so you never miss another message designed to uplift your spirit and enrich your life. You've already made it this far in life, survived more than you give yourself credit for. Now, it's time to live with less weight and more meaning. You deserve that. You always have. Thanks for spending this time with us. We'll see you in the next video, where we'll continue exploring the wisdom, the beauty, and the strength of aging well.